Hello, friends. It's been a while since I sat down and talked to you guys. Well, I'm sure I posted a few days ago, but it feels like it's been forever. So this video is a little interesting. I'm not in my typical place at my house or even on the ground. As you can tell, I'm inside the plane right now. I'm on my way to Calgary for some business venture and also some mentorship along the way. But this video is about positioning yourself to win. Now, you might be asking, David, why are you making this video? And what do you mean by positioning yourself to win? Well, the reason why I'm making this video right now is because as I sit here on this plane, I'm just reflecting, and I figure that maybe perhaps I can reflect out loud and share some of the lessons that I'm extracting from this with you guys. So this is going to really apply for you young entrepreneurs out there that are just starting your venture. And the main purpose of this video is just outlining the importance of positioning yourself to win. Now, I'm on this plane right now and I have spent $0. I didn't spend a single dime on my plane ticket. I didn't spend a single dime on my hotel. All my travel expense have been paid for. And I'm gone for the next 10 days. And so I'm sitting here, I'm like, wow, like, why would someone pay me over $10,000 for the next few days, all while paying for all the travel expense, all while also getting mentorship and seeing the business at the top? So it's so crazy that I'm saying this out loud right now, but I'm literally getting paid to learn and to see the business being played at the highest level. And I was asking myself, am I just lucky? What did I do to deserve this? And I've come to realize that it's because I positioned myself to win. And what do I mean by that? Well, before I have met this gentleman that I'm with, who is now not only my client, but also my mentor, and also a potential business partner, which is why I'm also on the road with him for the next few days. I couldn't help but think, okay, am I just lucky? But then I've come to realize, no, it's because I positioned myself to win. And what I mean by that is, before I had even met this guy, I have already done the work for me to become valuable. I studied the market. I made sure that I honed in on my superpower. And so when I had finally met this guy, I was impressive in his eyes. For him, he understood that having me in his corner, by his side, is going to be an asset. Obviously, in the beginning, the relationship was somewhat transactional. I do a few videos for him, he pays me. We did that a few times, but eventually, with the right conversation and right nurturing tactics, he became a good friend of mine, became a mentor, and now I'm traveling with him and potential business partner. And positioning yourself to win isn't always just about being at the right place. A lot of the times people will go to networking events and think that, okay, I just need to meet somebody at the top and I'll be good. You gotta understand, that's not how the game is played. If you go meet somebody impressive, for example, if you meet Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, any of the top tier successful entrepreneur, unless you offer some crazy value that they already don't have access to, they're not going to care that you exist. They don't care that you're right in front of them, because you're just another person that they're just coming across. You're just another side character. But until you have something so valuable that they can't continue their life without you, then that means you just have to do more work. You have more work to do. And obviously, these guys that I mentioned, that's very, very extreme. But what I'm saying is, just trying to outline the fact that even if you do meet very successful people, very impressive people, it does not always mean that they're gonna want you in their corner. People will want somebody that can bring in value. That's just the unfortunate truth about businesses, that is very transactional. People at the top aren't really looking for friendship. Now it can happen, but you gotta make sure that when you find the opportunity to meet these people, that you are somebody of value. You bring in a skill set, you bring in some sort of experience that allows you to be important in their life. And that's what I mean by positioning yourself to win. And positioning yourself to win means you gotta do the work every single day. You gotta constantly learn, you gotta constantly be studying, you gotta constantly be expanding your mind, you gotta constantly be somewhat meeting new people and finding ways in which you can solve their problem. And it's gonna get to a point where money is not even gonna be an issue, right? People are when you meet people at the top, they don't care about money. They have more money than they can ever need. You know, they could live 10 lifetime and they still won't run out of money to spend. But yeah, I'm just going on a ramble here now. But yeah, position yourself to win. Do the inner work every single time, and so when you find yourself in a winning opportunity, you can capitalize on that. I know for a fact that if the gentleman that I'm with didn't see any value in me, if he didn't see that I was a good person, if he didn't see that I knew my shit, he wouldn't have brought me on to the level that he is bringing me on. One way that you can really measure whether you can be valuable into somebody's life is, can they approach you for some advice? Can they go up to you? Can they ask you a question? Can they learn from you? Because if they can't learn from you, then that means there's really not much more value that you can bring in. Now, of course, there's always the value of time. You can do something for them in exchange for your time, but that's typically low leverage stuff. But if you can offer some crazy value that are high leverage, that can increase the quality of their life, that can increase their business revenue, that can increase whatever it is that they're looking for, then yeah, that's when you're doing the right thing. But you know, just because you want it, just because you have the time, just because you're willing to work for free for these people, does not mean they're gonna accept it, right? And I guess that's where I was trying to go with money. A lot of the times people will just give their time for free, like, hey, I'll work for you for free, I'll do this for free, I'll work for you for a whole year for free. But you gotta understand that if you don't bring any value, then you're just a liability. You're just a liability. You're asking for too much, because now you're trying to ask for their time, and their time is valuable. But yeah, gentlemen and ladies, if you're new to entrepreneurship, position yourself to win. Hone in on your superpower. Ask yourself, what's my superpower, and how can I make it even better? Because we all have superpowers. My superpower is my ability to be such a visionary, my ability to be resilient, my ability to sell, my ability to communicate ideas. And I'm still working on those. Even though those are my superpowers, I'm still working on those on a day-to-day basis. I love selling, I love marketing, and I know that those are my strong suit. And I know that's the thing that I offer. With the gentleman that I'm with right now, every conversation we have, he's learning from me. And vice versa, I'm learning from him 100%. We have different resources, and it's always just an exchange of value. right? He has the money resource, he has network resource, he has knowledge resource, and but I have something that he doesn't have, which is time that I can give him, and also knowledge and experience in an industry that is important to him. So instead of him having to go and learn those skill sets, he can just come to me. So yeah, I hope you learned something from this, and like I said, I'm just reflecting out loud right now, and hopefully I can share some value to you right now that's watching this video. So yeah, I'm definitely grateful. It really just goes to show that everything is your fault. You know, I truly believe that everything is your fault. Take accountability. The only reason that I'm here right now is because a year ago I put out an ad. I decided that I wanted to put out an ad, and I wanted to make sure that it was well executed, and because I put out that ad, I put the energy out there. This gentleman was able to see that ad, and I was able to attract him, and you know, we set up a meeting, and boom, the relationship trickled down. I mean, yeah, the relationship started from there, and the only reason why I was able to keep this relationship going is because I've done the work for the last few years so that I was impressive, so that I brought in value. Because even if I had a meeting with him and I didn't know what the fuck what I was talking about, or I didn't bring any value, then the relationship would have just ended there. Or perhaps the relationship would have just stayed transactional. But now the relationship is much bigger than that. He's now my friend, he's now my client, and also a potential business partner. So it's very exciting. Anyway, I've been yapping for too long now. I hope you're having a great day. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And most importantly, thank you for trying. Peace.